This is the last video you're ever going to watch on YouTube on how to trade gold like a pro. What is going on, guys? This is KojoForex, aka GBP Emperor, aka Emperor of Blues. I'm back on your screens again after a long time, and today's video I want to show you why this is the very last video you're ever going to watch on YouTube on how to trade gold like a pro. So I've been trading for the last 14 years, and I've trained a lot of beginners and even advanced traders. And what I know very well is that anytime beginners or advanced traders come on YouTube and they're learning how to trade gold, they're seeing generic information that has been repeated over and over and over, and they've not got any clear, concise content that spells out exactly how to trade gold or how to look at gold like a pro. And that is why I'm shooting this video, to show you exactly how to do that. Now, you must understand that gold is a commodity, right? Literally a metal. It's not like any other currency. It is highly volatile, and its movement is influenced by so many factors, including major fundamentals, macroeconomics, and geopolitics. But where I'm going to start from today is purely the technicals. I'm going to show you and break down how you should be looking at gold on a technical basis, what time frame you should be prioritizing, and what confirmations you should also be looking at. So without wasting my time, let's get right into the video and let's tackle gold like a pro. So guys, if you've been watching this video up to this end, then it means that you're very serious about learning how to trade gold like a pro and you want to change your perspective. First off, what I want to tell you is that if you want to learn how I trade gold, the time frame that you should be prioritizing now is the H1 time frame, right? The 1 hour time frame. Now I'll tell you why the 1 hour in a bit, right? So 1 hour would be your main time frame of reference. And second, what you want to also do is that you want to watch how the market trades on a daily basis. And how you do that is you right click on your trading view, come to the settings, then you come to the event side, then you're going to see session breaks, right? So you want to toggle this session breaks on. You see, if I don't have the session breaks on, there's literally like nothing here, right? But once I toggle it on, then you see some vertical. Once I toggle it on, then you see some vertical lines appear on my chart. We want these vertical lines on, right? Then second, what you want to do is you want to set your psychological levels on gold as well. Now see, if I toggle this off, you can see that what? There is literally no psychological levels. There's no horizontal lines. The horizontal lines is what I call the psychological levels, right? And the horizontal lines, they are not randomly plotted. They are plotted on the rounded figures on gold, right? So once I toggle it back on, you're going to see that what I have psychological levels toggled. And how I do that, you pick the horizontal line, right? The horizontal line here in your tools, right? In your analytical tools, you look for the lines, right? Then you pick the horizontal line here, which is horizontal line. You pick it, right? Then you stand on anywhere on your chart. Then you double click on the line, right? Then you come to the coordinate and then you change. For instance, I want to put this at 4550 because it just moved right now, right? Then you can see that it picks 4550, and I want to put this at 4500, right? So I double click, I change this to 4500, right? Now what I just did is I specifically put the horizontal lines on the rounded figures on gold. You can see that if I start from down here, I put it on 4400, 4450, 4500, 4550, 4600, and 4650, and so on and so forth. Now the pip difference between every one of these levels that you're seeing is literally 500 pips. So what I mean is that if you start from this line and then you count all the way, or you try to calculate all the way to this point here, that is 500 pips on gold, right? And the same way from here to here, right, the distance between them is 500 pips. So you can see that clearly from gold trading from this point all the way to this point is a 1000 pip movement, right? It's a 1000 pip movement. So that is just not even the only reason for plotting the psychological levels. Sometimes they do act as a dynamic support level or resistance level in the market, and we're going to find out that briefly. So now that you have literally plotted your psychological levels and then you have also marked out your daily trading range, then we get right into the technicals, right? So as a trader, one thing you must ask yourself, right, is where the market is going on any daily basis. What I mean is that, for instance, this range right here is how the market traded today, right? So prior to that, then the market opened from here, right? And once the market opened from here, you can see that what this market was previously on a bearish or downtrend, right? Trading lower highs and lower lows until it hit this point, and then structural change started occurring. Now, if we zoom in, if you're a trader and you come to this point, like I said, once you are here, which is the beginning of the day, right, you have one simple question you're asking yourself. And that one simple question is that, where is the market going before the day ends, right? And where the market is going, it has about literally about 5 probabilities, right? The first one is that it can just go sideways until the day ends. The second one is that it could just go on a downtrend for the rest of the day. The third one is that it could go on an uptrend for the rest of the day. And then the fourth version is that it could go on a downtrend and later on reverse to an uptrend. Or the fifth one, which is the last one, it could go on an uptrend and later on reverse to a downtrend. Regardless of wherever the market wants to go, it is your obligation to be on the right side of the market to tell where it is going, right? So this is where your technical know-hows or your technical skills come at play to be able to put you in the right spot in the market, right? Now, after you've done that, you have to also establish the trend in the market. And by establishing a trend in the market is that if, for instance, you watch this market, right, this is the inception point of the market, which is the beginning point, right? Anytime I say inception point, so many traders get confused. They're asking me that, Kojo, what do you mean by inception point? And I try to explain to people that when it comes to like the aspect of trend line, in fact, generally picking up trends in the market, inception point basically tells us the beginning point of the market, just like trends, right? Trend basically explains the beginning of anything, right? This is like when people casually say this is the new trend in town, this is the new trend in town, right? So in the market as well, trend basically tells us where the beginning of a particular direction began. So if you watch here in this previous uptrend, you can clearly see that what this was the inception point, which was the beginning point, and it went all the way creating lower highs, higher highs, higher lows until it hit this point, and then it created an equal high, and this became the last high before this downtrend also began. So if we're drawing our trend line for the resistance levels, right, or our resistance trend line, it is empirical, or it is very important that we start from the inception, which then is this very point, right? And what you want to do is that you want to connect it into the second most relevant point. Previously, we would have connected it to this point and moved on to this point and moved on to this point and moved on to this point, right? But since we are here now in the market, we would move on to this point right here, right? So these are you marking up your levels. These are you preparing your grounds for the market. After you've drawn that, that's not all. You want to also do that for the support level as well. So you can see that what now that trend is changing, right? We have change of character in the market. And how do I spot that we have change of character in the market? You can see that when this market dropped up to this low right here, right, which was the last significant low in the market, if I extend this, there's no low, most immediate low beneath it, right? It was creating a lower high, lower low, right? So lower low, lower high, lower low, and then it created a lower high, right? Now you would have expected that the market was going to continue to break this level, right? Break of structure and create a new lower low. But what happened? It created a higher low, right? Which is right here, and then broke this level first, right? Structural break here, which was change of character, significance there, and they also broke this structure here. So then it indirectly just gave us the signal or cue that the market is beginning to change direction. And then it created what? This higher low, right? In expectation that it was going to create what? The higher high here. So this level right here was a very significant level for the market to deal with coming in this week. Now, what do we observe in all of that? So now that we have done that, then it's also relevant that we plot that support trend line as well, which is we picked from the inception point and then extend to the second point, right? So now that we've done this, then it means that what we have created a perspective of what is possible to happen in this market. And one of that perspective is that this market can move up to this point, which is touch on the psychological level, and then which is also significant to this resistance region right here and then drop, right? That is our one empirical thesis. And then the second thesis is that it may not do that, right? It may actually come down. Now, if it is coming down, it is important that because this market created a swing high and is coming down, then we consider this coming down as a retracement. So you might as well plot your Fibonacci ranges there already. And in plotting your Fibonacci, you start from the very bottom and drag it to the top since it is a swing high. And then you can see that what for Fibonacci as well, we have this range settled in, which also coincides with the trend line, right? So the other perspective that could happen in this setup is that this market can come tap into the Fibonacci, also sitting on the trend line here, and then bounce off. If it doesn't do that, then you'd have it come all the way down and visit this previous low right here, hold it on strongly as a support level, and then go up from there, right? So you can see that based on the fact that we marked up our levels, we've had clean insight on what could possibly happen on this market. Prior to that, don't forget that this market had already hit a strong resistance region, because since it changed trend, would have expected that it would have actually broken this level and then created a new high, but you can see that that level held strongly, right? So observe with me what happens when the market opens. Market opens with a little bit of a gap, then it pushes down, right? Then it starts creating wicks, right? Strong wicks on the downside, right? Then another strong bearish candle. Then we have what? A big bullish candle. So to be fair, this wick right here with this bullish closure did trick me into jumping in on a buy position, which I shouldn't, right? But it looked very good, right? I don't lie to you. You can see clearly that it looked very good right here, that we could have just jumped in here for a buy, put a stop loss here, and then the market, because it created a high retracement, and this retracement came into the key Fibonacci levels, and then we would have expected that it was going to continue from there, right? But nonetheless, remember I told you guys that with how volatile gold is, it has a strong relationship with macroeconomics and geopolitics. And just around the same time was when on the geopolitical event or geopolitical side of things, Iran also attacked US ship just today. And so that didn't let the bullish closure hold strongly, and what followed was a massive sell. But by then I just lost interest and then gone about the rest of my day. But coming back from what I just saw, the market played out exactly how I'm explaining things to you in terms of your perspective and then your expectations in the market, right? You can see that from here, the market just kept dropping. It hit the trend line. This is where we would have observed what would happen on the trend line. Remember our third touch rule, right? When the market hits here, we don't want to see any candle close beneath it, and then we want to observe if there's going to be any confirmation here for us to find a trade setup. But if we observe, what happens is that what the market just continuously go down, and then in fact it just dropped with an insane spike again because of that retaliatory attack that Iran just had on US, and then I think US is also making claims to fight back. So that's what just led this de-escalation move, or this big move in gold, right? And I can see that that big move in gold, surprisingly, right, if I put this horizontal line here, you can see that surprisingly, it's only the wick that closed beneath that range, and then the body is closing above it. Does that mean that this level can hold strongly as a support for us to see gold push up? That is exactly what I was explaining to you, that when the market opens, as a trader, you have three perspectives of what could happen. It could either consolidate for the rest of the day, it could go up, or it could come down. But in this case, the market did choose to come down. Nonetheless, as it has come down, it has also met a strong support level, which is a path of least resistance. So what would happen from here? Once I replay this, you can see that we are still revolving around that level and observing which candle closure is going to convince us to go for a long, or perhaps the market is going to break that level and continue lower. But currently, this level is very volatile. because of the current fundamentals that is going on, and things are changing very quickly. So you cannot be extra confident with any confirmation because within the next minute, anything can change. Right, guys, I think this was a little bit of a insane and straightforward deep dive, and I think it caught all of you off guard with how I went deep in my explanation. I think you're very excited and you've learned a lot, and I know that you want more of this. And if you do really want more of this, then you must smash the like button on this video, share it with your community of traders, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that. But also don't forget to follow me on all social media at KojoForex. You guys know that I've been very active on Twitter, and so if you want to engage me predominantly, you can reach out to me on Twitter as well. But for you to be a part of our community, then you must be in the Telegram community because we share a lot of trades with our community and break down the trade setups for free literally every day as well. Click in the link in the description and makes available to you the link to join the community. I'm very excited to be back on your screens, and I hope to be very consistent this time and show you more of what I've learned in the last couple of years. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.